to another Absurd Heroine video. Today we are playing a meta deck that I've been using to climb the ladder, and that is Bant Pod. So what does that mean? Bant means three particular colors: green, blue, and white. Those are the colors of Bant. And then Pod is a name that is given to a type of deck based on the original card, which was Birthing Pod. So any card that kind of has this interaction is called a pod deck. So what's that interaction? That interaction is basically sacrificing a creature that you have to search for another creature that has the converted mana cost equal to the sacrificed creature +1. And I believe the typical wording is search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost equal to 1 plus a sacrificed creature's converted mana cost, and then this particular card puts a +1/+1 counter on it. So let's go over the deck. We start with Llanowar Elves, then we have the Lost. When Fibblethp, the Lost, enters the battlefield, draw a card. If it entered the library, if it entered from your library or was cast from your library, draw 2 cards instead. So this basically means if you use Neoform or Prime Speaker Vanifar, who's our other pod interactive, to sacrifice Llanowar Elves and get Fibblethp, then you draw 2 cards, which is great. And when it becomes target of spell, shuffle them into its owner's library. Then we have Crawl Harpooner. This is just a very good utility card. Reach, Undergrowth. When Crawl Harpooner enters the battlefield, choose up to 1 target creature with flying you don't control. It gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard, and then you can have it fight that creature. So this is removal. This is spot removal, basically, for a flying threat, like a Hydroid Krasis or something like that. Then we have Paradise Druid, more mana fixing. Paradise Druid has hexproof as long as it's untapped, and then tap to add 1 mana of any color. Neoform. So here's one of the big parts of this deck, and that's basically what we just described. So as an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice it, and then you search, and it gets +1/+1 counter. So then we have Militia Bugler. A 2/3 for 3 vigilance. When Militia Bugler enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card with power 2 or less from among them and put it into your hand. So this is useful because it gets almost everything in this deck has power of 2 or less. So it's just a good way of like restocking. Then we have District Guide. When District Guide enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a basic land card or a gate card, reveal it, put it in your hand, shuffle your library. So mana fixing. All of these creatures have like enter into the battlefield effects to maximize, capitalize on the Bant pod, on the pod aspect of the deck. So Deputy of Detention. When Deputy of Detention enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls and all other non-land permanents that player controls with the same name as that permanent until Deputy of Detention leaves the battlefield. I'm not sure how I like this in this deck. I mean, it can be incredibly useful, to be sure, but under certain situations it's actually not that great, because it like resets planeswalkers if there's like removal or something like that. But it's good for getting rid of tokens, that's for sure. So Knight of Autumn. When Knight of Autumn enters the battlefield, choose 1. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on Knight of Autumn, destroy target artifact or enchantment, or you gain 4 life. So this is a great card, just all around, like very useful. There's tons of artifacts and enchantments, more enchantments than artifacts in standard right now, and gaining 4 life can be really, really important against something like red deck wins or something like that. And then if you don't need either of those 2 things, then you can just put +1/+1 counters on her. So she's really great. Shalai, Voice of Plenty. A 3/4 flyer for 4 flying. You, planeswalker you control, planeswalkers you control, and other creatures you control have hexproof. This is just really good protection. Very specific. You kind of like specifically want to get this card in certain situations, like against mono red, for example, or against like mono white or a white control that you think they might have like Settle the Wreckage or something like that, because then they can't cast it on you. Spark Double. You may have Spark Double enter the battlefield as a copy of a creature or planeswalker you control, except it enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. If it is a creature, it enters with an additional loyalty counter. I'm sorry. An additional +1/+1 counter on it if it's a creature, and then it enters an additional loyalty counter on it if it's a planeswalker. We don't have any planeswalkers in this particular deck. And it is not legendary if that permanent is legendary. So This is whatever it is that you want it to be. If you have something on the field, you can make this, whatever that is. The most useful thing that you need at the time. Elite Guard Mage. Flying. When Elite Guard Mage enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life and draw a card. This is very useful. This card has just been unbelievable, as I've noticed playing this deck. Gaining the life and drawing the card is just like really important in certain matchups. And it's flying, a 2/3 flying, and then it's 4 casting costs, which helps you get to the 5 casting cost things, which is pretty good, and you'll see in a moment. So then there's Prime Speaker Vanifar, and Prime Speaker Vanifar is a birthing pod and a creature. So tap, sacrifice another creature, birthing pod. Activate this ability only when you can cast a sorcery. So yeah, that's Prime Speaker Vanifar. Then the kind of not backbone of the deck, but like the muscle of the deck. This card is insane. This card is insane. God Eternal Oketra. And the funny thing is that a lot of people didn't notice that this card was insane. I think it's starting to get like a lot of attention right now because people have noticed that's insane. But when Spark came out, War of the Spark first came out, it wasn't like all the rage, you know, people weren't talking about it. They were talking about lots of other cards. Me specifically, I was talking all about Feather, and a lot of other people were talking about Feather, and oh my goodness, Kefnet's amazing. And they kind of like glossed over Oketra, which is kind of funny because she's just insane. So double strike, when you cast a creature spell, create a 4/4 black zombie warrior creature token with vigilance. When God Eternal Oketra dies or is put into exile from the battlefield, you may put it to the owner's library 3rd from the top. So it's a god, so you can't really get rid of it unless you like mill it or counterspell it or discard it. It's really hard to deal with because it's got a big butt. So she's a 3/6. Like you have to have 2 very big burn spells in order to get rid of her. Yeah, I mean, and even so, she just like comes back later. And every single card, if you've noticed so far, every single card except for Neoform is a creature card in this deck. So things like negates don't really work very well against our deck. And almost every single card that we have, that we cast, will trigger Oketra. So very, very good card. I love her. It's just like sometimes when she enters the battlefield, people just concede. It's pretty funny. Trostani Discordant. This is another one of, just for like particular purposes. Other creatures you control get +1/+1, and when she enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 white soldier creatures with lifelink. And then at the beginning of your end step, you gain control of all the creatures that you own. So things like mass manipulation don't like. This is very good against that kind of deck. All right. Then we have another one of Tolsimir, Friend to Wolves. When Tolsimir, Friend to Wolves enters the battlefield, create Voja, Friend to Elves, a legendary 3/3 green and white wolf creature token. When a wolf enters the battlefield under your control, gain 3 life, and that creature fights up to 1 target creature you control. So this is kind of removal, but honestly, it can just be like really powerful in a certain sense. And the funny thing is, if you have Tolsimir out and you cast a Spark Double on Tolsimir, then they both live because the Spark Double isn't a legendary copy, and the wolf that comes out will attack 2 things, which is really cool. It's a cool little interaction. So anyway, that is Podcast, which is my Bant pod deck. Very, very fun deck. I love it. It wins quite a bit. So we're going to go into the ladder and just play some games and see how it does. All right, come with me. Against Brasher. This is a good hand. We got our colors, we got our ramp, we got our Prime Speaker Vanifar, and if nothing else, we got an Elite Guard Mage. Usually Prime Speaker Vanifar doesn't stick for very long, depending on the deck that we are playing against, because she's very powerful and people don't like that. Which is, you know, understandable. That's understandable. Oh, we got another Elite Guard Mage. That's nice. Alright, so we'll just attack. We're up against Rakdos at least. Unfortunately, had its tap land. So we'll see what this is about. This could be... Ooh, Grixis. Okay. Let's see what kind of Grixis we got here. I think I'm going to want a Guard Mage. Because if we Guard Mage now, we can Neoform next turn. We'll draw a card, we can Neoform next turn, and get Oketra. Which is just like what, I mean, that's kind of what you want to do. So we're gonna do that. And we'll get in for 2. We'll get in for 2. At this point, we don't need our mana in order to Neoform Elite Guard Mage. Hopefully, let's see, what could he do? I don't think he could wipe us. He could Angrath's Rampage. We haven't seen anything out of him yet. Oh! Oh! Kiora. I don't think I've ever seen Grixis with Kiora. Alright, cool. I mean, let's get in there, I guess. With our Guard Mage. We're just going to attack him. I don't care about Kiora at this moment. Neoform. Him. Bam. For an Oketra. Hi! And then we'll pay 2 life here. Put out another Guard Mage. We could have brought out Prime Speaker Vanifier, but I like drawing the cards. And at this point, like, he's in trouble, as it is. So Grixis with Kiora, huh? Like, what could he be running? That's really interesting. It must be... There's 2 different types of Grixis decks that I know of in the meta right now, and that's mid-range and control. And she doesn't fit in either of them, but which one would she fit into more? Mid-range. She'd fit into mid-range more, obviously, because the creatures. Yeah, mid-range has like creature-based. Goodness, where did my hair tie go? It just disappeared. Rekindling Phoenix. I don't really care too much for you. Let's get in. We'll just attack him. With both of these guys. And the Guard Mage too? No, here's what we're gonna do. We'll attack with these guys. He's gonna block something with the Phoenix, probably. Creating that token, right? And then we can fight the token. Oh wait, no, we don't have a... I was gonna say we can pod the Elite Guard Mage, but we don't have a Prime Speaker Vanifier out yet. That's okay. Okay, he's gonna kill that, sure. Take a ton of damage. We'll bring out Vanifier now. And we'll fibble. That thing. Well, that thing. Alright, so now at this point, like, we're just so far ahead. He could have, there is a sweeper. There is a Grixis sweeper. And he does get a card for that, doesn't he? Yeah, he does. That's interesting. That's cool. That's a cool little interaction. I like that. I like that. There is a black red sweeper. Bye. Bye, elves.
Let's get moving.
Okay. I can't remember what that sweeper is called, though. Okay. Okay. Sure. I mean, like, I'll take it. Rank up. Platinum tier 2. I know I'm pretty far behind still. Pretty far behind still. We'll get there. It's a slow grind. It's a very slow grind. I play with this deck and I play with my feather deck. My feather deck actually isn't really great, which is unfortunate. It's just too reliable on too many things, which stinks. There has to be a number of things like in play for it to work right, or to have like the God Hand, and the God Hand is, the percentage of getting a God Hand is like kind of low. Yeah, we'll keep this. We have our Vanifier, we have a Oketra. Like, I don't mind just casting her straight out, and we have ramp, so we'll keep it. So I play this one, I play my feather, and I play a Grixis deck, and it's a Grixis control deck, and it's actually like stupidly good and fun to play. I've only lost like 2 or 3 times with it. It's like kind of ridiculous. So maybe I'll make a video about that one. Alright, so what do we want to see here? We want to see... Oh, mono white's good. Like, this deck's good against mono white. It's good against mono red. It's okay against mono blue, I think, too. So next turn we're gonna Prime Speaker Vanifar. Then we can District Guide the turn after that, and then sack the District Guide for, like, whatever the heck we want. Probably a Guard Mage. Hero! Hey, that's cool. You don't see very many of them anymore. So they're not mono white, they're white black, which means that Vanifar is probably gonna get it this turn. But black removal, D-Spark would work against her. Okay. Okay. I guess we want District Guide, because we're gonna miss our land drop unless we do. D-Spark is not an instant, is it? Take action. And we're gonna want a green. Because I think Tolsimir is 2 green. If we draw him, we need to have 2. And I highly doubt that they want to block the hero of Precinct 1 with our Paradise Druid, but I don't really care. I'm not going to give him the chance. I'm just going to do this. We'll get an Elite Guard Mage. Because it's good. We could have also gotten, like, our Shalai to protect our Vanifar. Do we want to cast Crawl Harpooner? I mean, this is... We're playing against Esper. Mid-range. Yeah. So what does Esper mid-range have? They have the Angel, right? So we're not going to cast it. We're just going to keep it. We can keep it for Oketra. Like, we can cast Oketra next turn. And then we just have, like, a bunch of creatures in our hand that we can just cast and get, like, zombie tokens. Which is the dream. Once again, the dream. Just, like, look at how far ahead we are. Like, what is this? It's turn 4? Look at how far ahead we are. Oath of Kaya. So deal 3 damage to our Guard Mage. Okay. Okay, so we're just gonna cast Oketra. Let's not mince. It'll enter tapped. We'll cast Oketra. And we can sack Paradise Druid for a Militia Bugler. Knight of Autumn. I mean, we don't really care about Kaya's, do we? I don't think we care about Kaya's. Oath of Kaya, rather. Ooh, yeah, Trostani. Get some of that. Oath of Kaya only deals 2 damage when you attack a Planeswalker. Alright, well, we can Deputy of Retention that.
This isn't a fight you can win.
See, we don't really care.
I got this.
That's fine. Whatever. I got this. Okay. Sure. Alright, so let's see what we want to do here. We can... Trostani's. We can God Eternal. What does this guy do? Until your next turn, you may cast sorcery spells as though they had flash. So I'm not too worried about board wipes, because obviously he... doesn't want to wipe his own board. So I think we just cast Oketra again. And we can attack with Prime Speaker Vanifar to Fairy. And it'll just get rid of one of his tokens, but whatever. I think that's fine. And then next turn we could Trostani. We might want to cast 2 creatures next turn. So we can Deputy of Detention their little human dudes and then sack it for Shalai, I think. Maybe that's what we want to do. Well, we do have another Prime Speaker Vanifar. So I suppose that's okay.
Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Alright, let's get started. Let's Spark Double. Should we Prime Speaker Vanifar? Or do we just want to start creating big dudes? Lots of dudes. Let's Vanifar. I don't think they're gonna want to... I don't think they have any flying creatures. I would be... This doesn't seem like a flying creature deck. If they have that angel, then... Darn. Okay, so what would he have to do? He would have to block with a bunch of tokens, and then we would get God Eternal Oketra back anyway. Do we want to do that? I don't think we want to do that just yet. So we're actually not going to attack. We will Spark Double Oketra. No, maybe we should Deputy of Detention. Yeah. We should Deputy of Detention these little dudes. And then get in and kill Teferi. Because we don't want him to bounce our Oketra again. Well, actually, he'd be okay for one more turn. Because he'll have to plus one him this turn. Ooh, he's got his own God Oketra. Oh, how fancy. How fancy. So I think at this point I do want to get rid of these guys. What can we get with Prime Speaker? We can Spark Double to get God Eternal. If we draw a land, that would be nice. Our Tristani will definitely come in handy here, though. Because he won't be able to kill our Oketra with his Oketra. Okay. That wasn't bad. Because the more creatures we can cast, the better. So we might want to Deputy of Detention these little guys, right? Then we can get in with 1, 2, 3, 4 and kill Teferi, right? And then we can District Guide for a forest? No, we can't. So maybe... Yeah, we land our elves. We District Guide. Take action for an island. Cast the island. Deputy of Detention. These guys. Okay. Alright, cool. It's just like, ah, fuck. Which is what most people do when you're playing this deck. People are just kind of concede because there's just so much. You have so much on your field, your side of the field. Delicious. Delicious whiskey. Alright. Yeah? We'll keep. We got our land. We got our Vanifar. Bring that out. Probably bring out Forest. Okay, so this is some sort of Friends deck, looks like. Interplanar Beacon means that he's got lots of planeswalkers. Alright, so we'll Vanifar. See if she sticks. If she doesn't, then that's unfortunate, because we just have a bunch of ramp. Uh-oh. Ah, Kazmina. Okay. I was like, shit. He's gonna kill her. But he didn't. That's nice. She didn't. He didn't. Tezzeret is a he. Okay. Okay, so what do we want to do here? District Guide into Elite Guard Mage? Shalai. District Guild into Shalai, right? So we don't really care about this because we're not going to be targeting any of them. But I don't think we want them to deal damage to us. So we are going to get a land. Let's get a plains. Let us put down our plains. Cast Paradise Druid. And then sack our District Guide for a Shalai. Bam. Now we have some protection. So enter the God Eternals will kill our Shalai. Or that amass. There's Teferi. Oh, God. I hate you, Teferi. Why?
This isn't a fight you can win.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
My students are
Sure.
real geniuses.
I mean, I should totally just kill him, right? I would love to kill him. I think we probably should. We don't really need our Paradise Druids. It'll set us back one turn with... I mean, like, what could we do? What could we get? We could get Deputy of Detention. I don't really like that idea all that much. Ooh, why is that just loading? Ugh. Alright, well, yeah, we're just gonna attack. We're gonna lose both of our Paradise Druids, but I don't really care. 2 Paradise Druids for Teferi is, like, A-okay in my book, honestly. Get rid of her dumb students.
Suppose that's how
She can't
it's
make any
meant.
more. And, like, her passive is not important to me. So we'll Lane of War Elves. And we can Crawl Harpooner. Should we hold on to this? No. I don't think there's anything Grixis. Other than, like... I guess Nicol Bolas himself. Which, you know, is Planeswalker, and this is a Friends deck, so maybe I should have saved that. Oh well. If he casts Nicol Bolas, I'm gonna be like, shit. But if he's not, okay, we're good.
I train and I have just the trick for this.
What do you get? Nicol Bolas. Okay. Dovin. Okay.
I will gladly point out your inadequacy and
Sure.
contrasts. I'm excellent, and you're, well, not.
Okay. So let's see now. We want to sack this Crawl Harpooner. For what? A Militia Bugler? Deputy of Detention? I suppose a deputy? What do we want to kill here? Do we want to kill something? We don't care about Kasmina. We probably want to kill Narset. Let's sack our Crawl Harpooner for a Militia Bugler. I think that's probably the smartest thing to do. We were going to get a Shalai next turn, so maybe that wasn't the smartest thing to do. I forgot about that. That's alright, we can find her again if we really want to. Thibaulth is good, but we can't cast him this turn because of Narset. Whoops. Don't want to do that. Next, we'll attack here. So that Narset dies if he uses her. So he's going to cast Nicol Bolas. We'll probably just sack our elves or something. Or we can discard a card. Not a big deal. We need to ramp.
The fault is not in our stars,
Yeah.
in ourselves.
Spark will be mine.
Yeah. I mean, Nicol Bolas. Oh, okay.
Your existence
Interesting.
is pointless.
I don't know why he would want to do that. Okay, let's just kill it.
I have other schemes to attend to.
And, cast Prime Speaker Vanifar. Okay, so all of our stuff costs one more. So Neoform our Militia Bugler into a Shalai. Yeah. Do we want a Shalai? Maybe an Elite Guard Mage, because then we can just turn it into... and draw a card. Oh wait, no we can't, because of Narset. Okay. No, we're just gonna do Shalai then. Alright. And then we can get a Oketra next turn. We do want to kill... Ah, dang it. They're so annoying. This is so annoying. Ah! Planeswalkers. F you all. I mean, we aren't keeping him busy.
Unoffensive.
He doesn't want to seem to use Narset. Okay. So, we gotta kill Teferi. Get the frick out of here, Teferi.
This is
Hate
hardly
you.
my worst defeat.
Alright. I mean, do we just sacrifice Prime Speaker Vanifar for an Oketra? I mean, it sounds good to me, honestly. Why don't we just do that? Dangerous. This is dangerous. This is dangerous. I don't like either of these. But what is he, like, what does he got? Like, what is he gonna do? Could he get rid of an Oketra? He can make it, like, on a... I'm not quite sure what to do here, honestly. I'm not quite sure what to do. I want to get rid of Narset, because I want to draw cards. Maybe I should just cast Fibblethp, so that I can attack her next turn, if he doesn't have anything. I think I'm just gonna do this. This doesn't feel good, but I'm gonna do it. So I'm not gonna be able to draw a card, but I'm gonna get a dude to hopefully kill her next turn. Hopefully he just doesn't have anything. That was a really difficult decision. I'm not quite sure whether this is the right path to take or not. Okay, so he killed her. Alright, that's fine. That works. He's searching for something. Not quite sure what the best thing to do there was. That's two of our prime speakers, so we only have one more. We have two more Neoforms though. Dispersal. Knuckle Bolus. But alright, I mean we're keeping him on the back step, you know what I mean?
Be your end.
If he uses this to kill Oketra, then we still have Oketra coming in, you know, a turn, or a couple turns. And we can kill him. Yeah. Take action. And then he's gonna minus Dovin on my dude.
A few things can
And we are
withstand my
definitely
careful
going... Whoops.
scrutiny.
Definitely gonna kill you, and we're gonna kill you.
This outcome surprises
Go
even
away.
me.
Just go away. Now he has 4 cards in his hand. Goodness gracious. This one. So what has he got so far? 2 Guild Globes, 2 Discovery Dispersals, 2 of his Nicol Boluses, and 2 of his Teferis. So hopefully, I mean, Teferi's really strong and Nicol Bolus is really strong, so he's probably got 4 of each, would be my guess. Maybe 3 Narsets. Narsets would be really strong in this deck. So he's got the mana to cast one more. Okay. Fibble. Hey, buddy. What up? So this is Grixis. No. 4 color.
Listen up, and I'll teach you a trick or two. Focus on what matters.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I can dig. Alright, so let's just attack you. With all the things. Okay. So let's Oketra. And we're just gonna be drawing Oketra next turn, and we're just gonna cast Oketra because Oketra will trigger, and we'll get another 4/4 zombie, and then she'll be put back into the graveyard and then put back into the deck, so we can just like cycle the Oketras, which is cool. I'm cool with that. If he can't find an answer to Oketra, then perhaps we can just overrun him. 4-color Super Friends. Pretty disgusting, my friends. Pretty disgusting. Another Nicol Bolas. Here we go. Here we go again.
Before Nicol Bolas.
Yeah, yeah. Nicol Bolas number 3.
Defiance.
What did he kill?
Consequence.
Oh, he killed my zombie. Okay. Yes. Yes, I do want to cast that. Thank you very much. And I guess I'll keep this one. This one? Yes. And we'll sacrifice a land, I believe.
I have practiced to keep an open mind.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
I have other plans. I outsmarted
He's
you
going to
eons
start controlling us with Kasmina's little jerks. Yep. Oh, hey, look at that. I forgot about that. You. Bye. Yeah. Okay. End turn. We don't have anything to Neoform Oketra. Oketra's the top of the line.
Meditate and prepare.
Which is unfortunate because she comes back. So maybe we could put something at the top at 6 to use to fetch Oketra. To fetch with Oketra. Another guild globe. Okay.
There are so many mysteries.
Okay.
when kept with thoughtfulness before action.
Okay. Okay. So depending on what we draw next turn, we're just gonna attack him. Okay. Yeah. We'll attack here. And we will destroy this. Go away. And we'll Neoform her into a Spark Double, right? Of Oketra. So yes, Ritual of Soot. Sure, fine, good, whatever. Gotta get rid of my
Just the trick
Oketras.
for this.
Dovin. Okay. Ritual of Soot. Dovin. Targeting my Oketra. And I think we'll just kill Dovin.
I look forward to seeing your mistakes.
Yeah, yeah.
Looking to elevate yourself. Perhaps.
Oh,
a
we
pair of
shuffled our
sticks?
Oketra back to the bottom of our deck. That always happens. Not you. You. Kill him.
I'm astonished that succeeded. Can't
Yeah,
be
yeah,
denied.
yeah.
I am beaten.
Yeah. So now we're going to be attacking him for 16 each turn. Great. Good. Go. And Guard Mage. Yeah. I'm not going to draw a card, but we get 2 zombies dead next turn if he doesn't have something. Yeah. Let's see what we can do. Okay, good. We got it. That one was stressful at times. We got through like, what, 2 Teferis and 3 Nicol Boluses, and geez Louise. So that was like Philip and Friends, 4-color style. Non-green? Which is just fascinating. That's actually kind of cool. Excuse me. As you can see, I do have a Philip and Friends deck, but it's only Azorius colors, black, white and blue, and that one was like a 4 colors, which is crazy. So, and he was playing in Platinum Ladder. Like, that's cool. That's cool that we're seeing like a bunch of different types of decks. We haven't run into mono red yet. This deck stomps mono red. It feels so good. It actually kind of stomps mono blue too, which also feels really good because those were the 2 decks that I hated the most before War of the Spark came out. Nope, we can't keep this because we can't cast a darn thing. So send it back. Okay. I'd like to see more land, but we can keep it because we have, there we go, there's more land. So I think we'll just pay 2 life to get a Llanowar Elf out. Then Paradise Druid next turn, or maybe Militia Bugler. No, Paradise Druid, because we can just put the breeding pool into play tapped. We don't have to spend a life. Look at all those cards. Oh god. Ooh, Gutter Bones. So we got some sort of sacrifice going on here. Enter tapped. Paradise Druid. Deputy of Detention might be good here. Nope. You got it. Come on in. Militia Bugler should be good here. So we do have some sort of sacrifice deck going on here. Enters tapped. Let's Militia Bugler. Paradise Druid. Sure. No attacks. Next turn we can Tristani Discordant. Judith. Okay. Yep. So we don't want to block anything here. Should we get rid of the Judith first or just Tristani first? Let's Deputy. And Paradise Druid. Ramping up a bit more. Attack with our Bugler. Then we can Tristani next turn and have a pretty big attack, perhaps, if he doesn't have another Judith or a way of getting rid of our Deputy Detention, which he does not, which is great. Shalai. That's pretty good. Do we want Tristani? Or do we want Shalai? I think we might actually want Shalai. This way our Deputy Detention is protected, because Judith is really strong and I would prefer to not let him get her. No blocks. We need to get rid of this Rekindling Phoenix somehow. Ooh, another one. Okay. Prime Speaker. It's not gonna matter. Let's get our Discordant out. Because this way our Shalai can block our Rekindling Phoenix. That actually isn't going to matter too much now that I think about it. Next turn we're going to have to Knight of Autumn to gain life. Do we want to attack with our Militia Bugler? No. We don't really want to attack with anything just now. We can attack with our 2 lifelink tokens next turn to gain some life. Maddie Reveler. Okay. Searching for some sort of way of dealing with our Shalai. If he attacks with a Phoenix, then he has like a heart fire, a heart fire. No. Okay. Just more creatures. Man, we only have 3 lands. This is kind of spooky. Okay, he didn't attack with either of his Rekindling Phoenixes. That's awesome. So let's Vanifar. no attacks. Okay. So if we Vanifar, what do we want to sacrifice? Maybe we want to spark double our Shalai? No. Let's spark double something like our Deputy of Detention. Okay, perfect. That's what we're gonna do. Death Baron. Ooh. Okay. So he's gonna attack with a lot of things. So we're gonna lose a lot of things. What do we not care about too much here? We definitely care about our life gain. We can block here. No. Well, yeah. No. We'll block here. You can only kill one. And we'll gain 4. I guess we can block with our Paradise Druid. And we're going to want to block... How many more do we want to block? Is that good? We're gaining 4, we're taking 5. I think that's okay. We definitely need 1 Paradise Druid. Okay. Oh, Oketra. Oh, that's great. So let's kill a Militia Bugler. No. We're gonna have to kill our Paradise Druid. So let's Oketra first. Man, I can't believe we only have 3 lands. It's kind of just insane. And kill this for Deputy of Detention. Targeting Phoenix. Okay. And we'll attack with Shalai. And Militia. Okay, great. Whew! That was another questionable. Not questionable. I mean, that was another really good game, but just like a little sweating a little bit. Sweating a little bit. That one took a lot of thinking. Okay. Halara the Fire Fletcher. I tried to make a Halara the Fire Fletcher deck, but you know, it's just such a shit card. It really doesn't work. It really doesn't work, like, in any case. Anyway, I think that's good. That was some, like, really long games. I'm sorry those games were so long, but, like, that's kind of what it is right now on the ladder. Like, if you kind of have to play control or mid-range to some degree. We didn't play against any aggro decks, although I suppose maybe that last one was kind of an aggro deck. No, it's more mid-rangey. Anyway, so yeah, that was Bant Pod. Super fun, awesome deck. Did we win every single game? I think we won every single game. So yeah, that's kind of like been my life on the ladder since I've started using this deck. That and the Grixis deck, which I'll probably show the Grixis deck at some point. I do have some jank that I'm brewing right now that I totally want to show because it's like super fun. So that'll probably be what my next deck's going to be about. But until then, yeah, I wish you the best in all of your games. Hope you climb the ladder just as easy as everyone else seems to be. And yeah, have a good time. Till next time. Ciao.